joining us for our live stream of our last match in this. This is the last match in of a 5-team round robin, and as it fortunately turned out, this match will be the deciding match in this tournament. My name is Eni Fick. I'm coming from Johannesburg. In the north-south seats, we've got Craig Gower and Alon Apteka. They are a top South African pair with lots of international experience, having played all over the world. East-west, we've got Dinya Manwala playing with his wife Nancy from Cape Town. After the first 4 matches in the round robin, only about 0.46 victory points separate these two teams. So I think we should be in for a cracker of a match, since this is the decider, to see who takes home the honours. Okay, so North opting to open a multi-2 diamond. I suspect that they include generally balanced hands of about 20-21 points in these opening bids. We can see that North-South here would have been cold for probably a 7 diamond contract, but then have unfortunately missed the boat here. With 13 top tricks, I think we're going to get a claim very shortly, with hearts breaking with the Queen of Diamonds coming down. I think this hand illustrates for us the value of rather opening or bidding our hands in a more natural way, showing our suits. If the North hand had opened 1 heart and then later rebid at quite a high level, type of reverse bid the diamond suit, I think we might have well been able to potentially explore and reach a very good diamond slam. I don't think South did anything wrong with a mere 7 count opposite 20-21 to not explore more. So I think it's best for us to try and bid our hands in its most natural form. It will be interesting to see what happens at the other table. I have a feeling we'll get a much more natural type auction at the other table that might allow them to reach the very good slam or even a grand slam in diamonds. All right, so week 2 opening bid by Dinya. Good spade suits. And a pretty minimum 2-level overcall by Alon, but the correct bid. I think we'll see a competitive bid here of 3 hearts. And North will now, with only 2 spades in his hand, probably make use of a value double, a negative double, which would imply the other suits generally. I think we'll see that bid being used soon. All right, a more direct approach, deciding that or hoping that partner might have maybe a 6th spade, so Craigie taking the direct route to 4 spades. With a doubleton heart in the North hand, I can't blame Craig. It looks like we might have 2 heart losers, sorry, and we might not be doing too well in a 5 level of a minor contract, and obviously with the game bonus in mind, I think it's a very well judged 4-spade bid by him. All right, so as we can see with the diamond finesse being on and the 10 of diamonds coming down from east quite early on, we might be able, if we can arrange enough entries to our hand as south, we might be able to get rid of our club loser eventually. We at least a spade. All right, so with Nancy founding the club switch, I don't think South is going to have the timing to take to arrange to draw trumps. He'll probably start with the 10 of spades from dummy and see what happens there. When West then wins that and continues another club, he'll win in dummy, draw the remainder of the trumps, and if he plays the 7 of diamonds to the jack first and then return to his hand with the king, he'll then be able to finesse to the 9 and get rid of the club loser. So this will make from here on. All right, so pretty straightforward play here. We'll see us make 10 tricks. So two more rounds of spades. A diamond to the jack, not cashing the king first because we need that entry back to our hand to take another finesse. So small diamond to the jack, 6 to the king. With the king appearing on our right, we'll know what to do on the third round of diamonds. Okay, so it doesn't dawn on us often to raise our partner to game with just 2 cards in the suit, but I think this was a very, very well judged bid, and I think we can all learn something from that, knowing that we opposite an opening hand pretty much for Alon's overcall at this vulnerability. Craig knew that no trumps was definitely out of the question, and to play in 5 of a minor again is a long way away with such a hand. So very well judged to bid 4 spades. It will be interesting to see whether this result will get duplicated again in the other room. Okay, so very nicely done. That's a good board. That's a solid board that North-South can probably not lose much on. Okay, so on board 1, Gauteng gained a couple of imps when, after a 2-club opening by North, on that hand, our opponents, or Western Cape, Imtiaz and Maureen, did not explore for a slam, which is a little bit surprising. North opened 2 clubs. South made a 2 diamond bid, which normally for a lot of us shows at least a king or an ace. Imtiaz then bid 2 hearts, which transfers partner to 2 spades. And when he then bids diamonds, he acknowledges a hand with hearts and diamonds. So after 3 diamonds, with Maureen's hand having a 6-card diamond fit with partner and a useful working card in hearts as well as a singleton in spades, I do believe that Maureen should just have put 4 diamonds, which might have made them reach even a Grand Slam in diamonds. So a little bit of surprising action to jump from 3 diamonds to 5 diamonds, applying the principle of fast arrival, showing no slam interest. Okay, so indeed, a 12 imp swing to Gauteng on the first board, in 4 spades. In the other room, they managed to defeat that. So a welcome 12 imps. So Gauteng off to a very good start here. Okay, so 2-no trump for North-South. Here they are clearly using the 2-no trump opening bid as a 5, generally a 5-5 hand in the minors. That made life pretty hard for East-West to come into the auction. I am a little bit surprised, though, by Nancy's pass after the 3-club bid. A lot of us might consider balancing in that position with the values that she's got. All right, so North-South off to East-West off to a great start. He was starting the defense here. Dinya leading a club. Nancy putting him back on lead and coming back another club. In a lot of these 2-suited auctions, we will of course know that we'll have a good feeling that the north hand choosing clubs over diamonds does have a shortage or shorter diamonds, and a trump lead are most often indicated on these type of hands where we are really trying to kill the opponent's roughing power, cutting that down. So we'll definitely see another club being played here from Dinya. Most likely to come back another club, having started pretty well. In fact, with him winning the Queen of Spades, and he'll have an idea that his partner does have the Ace of Spades, he might well decide now to just cash the setting trick. If he does come back another club, I think De Clero gets home by virtue of setting up the diamonds and ditching all the spades. All right, so he's opting here to take the setting trick. So no harm done, should be 1 off. So 52 East-West. With the south hand showing two suits already, diamonds and clubs, I think we do have to be a little bit cautious with the west hand to come into the auction, for any one of the hands. And the reason is that if we run into a misfit with our partner, the partner of the 2 suited opening bid will normally be able to judge pretty well with if the other side runs into a bad trump split, we might run into a considerable penalty double. So I think that's why Nancy went cautious on the cautious and decided not to come into the auction after 3 clubs. Of course, her main suit, the diamonds, was shown by the south hand, so that would eliminate the possibility. That does just leave spades and hearts left with only 4-3 in those suits. we could run in pretty bad distributions and so on. So I think it was well judged by her to pass. All right, so again a normal start here. One diamond opening, one heart. Two clubs by Elon. All right. All right, so 2-note trump by Craigie. Elon loving the length in his club suit. And potentially a couple of entries to his hand, so choosing to go all the way to game. Okay, on board 3, a welcome 6 imps to the Western Cape, when there was no two-suited opening in the south hand. West opened a diamond, responder bidding a heart, and Jude Apteker in the West seat with a 15 point, including the King of Clubs. I don't really like that card in that position in the club suit as a singleton. I think he would have done a bit better to treat his hand as a 12 to 15 hand and just rebid 2 hearts. We never know what value that King of Clubs might have, but I think it needs to be a little bit devalued because it's not really working that well. 3 hearts is really not an unreasonable bid. And again, at the vulnerability, he might have chosen the more aggressive option. Okay, so just coming back to this hand, I think all the bidding was pretty standard and normal up to the 2-note trump bid by Craig. I think I've got doubts about whether I wouldn't just bid 3 clubs with the south hand. We're showing more clubs. And then Craigie might have been able to judge a little bit better that the hands are not really fitting that well, because he's only got a singleton club. That must be devalued quite considerably, I'd say. And he might well have passed 3 clubs. That would have saved us getting overboard on this hand. All right, so we're going to see, I think we're going to see Declarer here being at least 2 or 3 tricks down, where 3 clubs was probably our only makeable spot, losing 3 club tricks and a diamond trick. We can't really blame Elon for going to 3-note trump. If partner did only have a doubleton club, we might have been in line for a lot of tricks, potentially in no trumps. All right, so Nancy will ditch the 10 of diamonds. If Dania reads the position correctly, he might exit with cash the queen of clubs and then exit with a spade. Declarer finessing the diamonds as he did should have the ace and the jack, with our partner now showing up with the 10. All right. So I think Declarer here is maybe going to win with the ace of spades and come back another diamond, hoping for that finesse to work. And once that does not work, All right, so with the 10 of diamonds being ditched in west, I think Craigie read well that the king of diamonds was on his left. Okay, so this will be, it's not a complete disaster, but again, not a great outcome on this board for north-south. So if South did bid 3 clubs and Craigie had a good fitting card or a couple of cards with his partner's long suit with a full 14 count, he might have well taken the decision to carry onto a game, and without that he might have been happy to stay in 3-no trump. Okay, so or to stay in 3 clubs. Okay, so the same score coming in from the other side, so no harm done to anybody. Both choosing the aggressive route to an unfortunately unmakeable game. Okay, so 2 diamonds with the north-south pair playing Dutch 2s. This is the only way to obviously show a hand with a weakish hand with a 6-card major. With the Lon's hand fitting very, very nicely in both suits, I think we might well encounter a pass or correct bid here of 4 hearts maybe, if they've got that available. Some people playing these in this situation that a 4 club bid would ask partner to bid the suit below his suit, which would still allow the south hand to play the hand. A 4 diamond bid often means it is played as saying partner, please bid your suit. So here Alon is choosing the option of 4 clubs, saying partner, please bid the suit below your suit. So Craig will bid 4 hearts, and Alon will become declarer in 4 spades. All right, so when we're fitting that well with our partner in his major and we have a bit of distribution, even although we know that we don't quite have the 25 points for game, we should consider just bidding game in our partner suit, bombing out the opponents further, and there's always or generally a pretty good play for these type of hands in 4 of the major. So either we have stolen a part score from the opponents or we have a chance of making. Right, so with the diamonds having to be played from dummy, I think Alon will first immediately play a diamond up to his hand, maybe then cross over if that holds, maybe cross to the ace of clubs and immediately play another diamond up. No need to draw trumps yet. We've only got 3 out against us, and we always going to lose at least 1 with we're missing the king and the queen. So there's a lot of work and roughing to be done, cross-roughing on this hand still. Alon will attempt to rough clubs in his hand and hearts in dummy, but I think since he's in dummy at this stage, he'll first probably play a diamond up to his hand, because that has got to happen from the table, taking advantage of the ace of diamonds on our right-hand side. Okay, so at this stage, ace of clubs and I think directly another diamond up to his hand. This one Daniel will have to win. And knowing that the hand might play a little bit on a cross ruff, Daniel might well put the king of spades on the table, attempting to draw a few trumps. Daniel knows that his partner's got the remaining club due to Nancy not leading a singleton club. So he knows here that Eclair is voiding clubs. All right, so now the hand plays itself. We're going to ditch a club from the table, rough hearts, rough spades, and eventually Declarer should come to 11 tricks, losing just one trick to the Queen of Spades. Okay, so the interesting result just came in from the other side, where the Gauteng pair there ended up in a 4-heart contract going down with no weak action initially by Craigie's hand. So that allowed the East hand to open 1-0 trump, and they eventually ended up in a 4 hearts, which was a little bit unlikely to make due to the bad distribution. All right, so this will be a big pickup for Gauteng, plus 650, minus 50 at the other table, 12 imp swing. So Gauteng off to a flying start, 20 imps in the lead after 6 boards. Just to remind you that this is a true final where winner basically takes it all. All right, another multi-2. The bridge guards has favoured Craig and Alon, allowing them to often open this bid today. This is their way to, after a normal 2-heart relay by our partner, to show a 20 to 21 point balanced hand. All right, so Craigie's 3-heart bid, just in case partner's got the weak hand in the major, which is normally the case, he is extending the preempt to the 3 level. That 3-heart bid is a pass or correct bid, and Alon is bidding 3 no trump because he's actually got the strong balanced no trump version. All right, so Nancy considering her lead. I think with Craigie having shown some cards as well in both hearts and spades, I don't think there's a reason why Nancy would deviate from the normal 4th highest of her longest suit here. In many auctions where there was no interest shown in the majors by the opponents, Nancy might have considered a spade or a heart lead, but especially with Craig showing at least 3 cards. Okay, so proven wrong. Nancy deciding not to go with her longest suit. No harm done really, because Declarer has got 2 natural spade tricks and no more. And this will potentially build an extra trick for her in a bit of time if they can get the spades going. So I can see Dinya probably winning this and returning a spade. So Declarer's got 2 spade tricks, 3 heart tricks after knocking out the ace. That's 5. 2 club tricks, and the ace of diamonds gets us up to 8 tricks, and a lot of opportunity for making another extra trick, which would probably come from the diamond suit, since that will guarantee a 9th trick. So ace of spades, 10 of spades, 10 of spades by Dania, generally indicating a doubleton, the possession of a doubleton left after winning with the ace. So we return remaining counts. So with 2 cards left, he returned the 10, basically saying to his partner that he's got only one more card with that, or no more cards. Okay, so the opponents have taken 2 tricks. They've got a spade tricks that's established that they can't get to. This should, I think Alon will finesse the queen here. All right, so no harm done if West did have the king of diamonds. He knew that she could only have the 1 spade left, and that won't be able to defeat the contract. So perfectly good to finesse that diamond. All right, so which way are we finessing the club? Nancy's whole hand shape is known. She had 4 hearts to start with. Alon will know that she had a 4th spade and a 5-card club suit. And with the clubs being divided 5 and 2, with Nancy having the longer clubs by a 5 to 2 proportion, Alon will probably finesse the club through Nancy's hand because she's a 5 to 2 favorite to hold the critical missing card, the queen. Nancy, of course, showed out of the first diamond, so Alon's got pretty much a very clear picture of Nancy's hand. All right, so of course as West we're not going to put the queen on because that will simply allow Declarer to make 2 tricks, let him do his own work. So, all right, so 3-no trump plus 1. My predictions has been pretty poor about scores that might come in from the other table, so I'm not going to guess what might have happened on this board, although I can't imagine that the result won't be, it should be replicated at the other table. At least the play is a little bit slower than yesterday, which helps me to keep up a little bit better than yesterday. Okay, so club opening bid. Nancy with her 6-card suit might very well try and get in the face of the opponents and make a weak jump overcall of 2 diamonds, basically showing about 5 to 9, maybe 10 points occasionally at this vulnerability towards the upper end of a weak jump overcall seems normal. All right, so the benefit's very clear here from North's perspective. North now has a tricky decision to make as to what to do next. His 1 level has been taken away from him. To bid 2 hearts seems pretty normal. He does have a good secondary fit potentially with his partner in clubs, if the clubs are of course real, and stretching your hand by 1 point in this type of situation doesn't do too much harm in the long run. He has a bit of backup in distribution as well. All right, so Nancy and Dinia have agreed in this situation that even after the weak jump overcall, they are allowed to make a responsive double after the 2-heart bid showing spades, but their requirement for them is that they must have a fit with partner, which makes a lot of sense generally. If we're not fitting with our partner and we're going to try and find a fit in our own suit and it's only a 5-card suit, we could really end up in a little bit of trouble if our partner then doesn't fit in our own suit. Okay, so declarer should lose one trick in diamonds here, with the ace of spades on sides. He should lose only 2 spades. So, and Craigie will have a very good idea that that ace of spades is on his left. Okay, so Nancy's hand is a weak hand. That might very well not include the other missing ace. So the spade finesse on sides. The interesting play really is in the club suit. When we've got ace queen and 10, 9, 8 between the 2 hands, we should finesse generally. The key position is ace queen 10. We generally, with such a holding, finesse to the 10 first and later to the queen. So here we with 10, 9, 8 in the dummy, we would generally run the 10 first. If declarer covers that with the jack and we put the if our opponent after the 10 of clubs covers with the jack, we'll put the queen on. That finesse will hold, and then we'll get back to the south hand and finesse again. Okay, so Dinya here building an extra trick for himself in the spade suit. Craigie might decide to play not to let him in. But if Craig at this stage wants to, okay, so Craigie is exiting with a spade because this does not give East a very nice exit. All right, so this will definitely help declarer. West will probably go up with the king. Craigie will win with the ace and now cross to the dummy and take that another finesse against the potential jack that might exist in West's hand. So here, by eliminating the spade suit first, Craig forced the opponents to open up the club suit, which was highly beneficial to him. He was losing that spade trick anyway, so a bit of an end play on the East hand. If East had counted the hand, though, he would have known that both hands had 4 clubs opposite 4 clubs. In such a case, a rough and discard is not often of great use to the declarer, because ditching a club from the one hand doesn't really reduce his losers. So Dinya could have also exited with a spade or with a diamond, with the rough and discard not allowing declarer to really discard a loser from his hand. Okay, so with a very favorable layout there in the club suit, declarer able to make a 4-heart contract, but not all those are biddable. Okay, so 1 a trump, even with a 5-card major, 15 to 17. It creates rebid problems for us if we don't open these hands via 1 trump. So that's absolutely correct. And we'll see Nancy explore a major suit fit, and that should lead to a normal contract of 4 spades, and with a pretty natural lead from Alon of the king of hearts. They'll continue hearts, cash their 2 hearts, and declarer would have to guess the location of the queen of spades to maybe make an extra trick with no losers in diamonds and clubs. Of course, with the position in the spade suit, we can see where the queen of spades is, and we know that we can see that it's queen to 3 in Craig's hand, so it would be very easy for us to finesse through that hand. But of course, generally, most of us apply the 8 ever, 9 never rule, which means that we've got the ace, king, and jack between the two hands. If we've got 9 cards, we play for the drop of the queen, and if we had 8 cards, we would attempt to finesse. In the spade suit, with the ace, with the 10 also present between the two hands, so ace, king, jack, and 10 present. If Denier did want to finesse, he could finesse either way. So if he played the north hand for queen of spades, sorry, he could finesse to the 10. If he thought that the queen of spades was in the south hand, he could, of course, take the normal finesse of the finesse to the jack. But I doubt that he will play that way. Of course, if declarer had an indication that one of the hands, north or south, had a lot more cards in the one hand than in the other hand, that would normally be when we get a situation where one of our opponents might have preempted against us. The odds start favoring finessing the other hand, finessing the other hand for a card like the missing queen here. But with declarer having no information to go by, I think we're going to see declarer applying the 8 ever, 9 never rule. Okay, so cashing the king first, because a singleton queen could drop, so no finesses yet. If he is considering a finesse, Craig, he couldn't be thinking there about anything, so I suspect his internet might have slowed down for a second. All right, so not catching the queen, not finessing for it. So we're going to have that as a loser. Okay, so no harm done. 4 spades making. Again, that should be a pretty flat board. I can't imagine any other outcome in the other room. Okay, so Gauteng, a handsome lead at the moment of 22 imps, little bits coming in their way, an over trick in 3-no trumps on board 6, and an extra trick because Craigie made an extra trick in the 3-heart contract with those 2 clubs or club honors on side. So nice lead at the moment for Gauteng. But okay, so we're getting towards the end of this session. We've got 2 boards to go. Another 10 boards to be played a little bit later, probably in about 20 minutes to half an hour. Again, when after that match began, we'll delay the online stream, the YouTube stream, by probably about 15 minutes. All right, so 1 spade, 1-no trump, semi-forcing, which means that partner with a pretty balanced hand might pass it. I think Nancy's shape and her point count is good for a takeout double. And again, better to come into these auctions earlier rather than later. She should want to double, asking partner to help us choose a suit. Okay, she decided to pass, which is quite interesting. So 2 diamonds by Craig, showing the natural nature of his hand and nothing special. East passing, we'll see a long pass because he's responded on feathers, and now there should not be a way that Nancy generally would want to sell out at such a low level to the opponents. So if she doubles now, it's a takeout double, showing hearts and clubs. What her partner is going to choose to bid after that is quite interesting. He's sitting with the opponent's suit, their main suit. So that's not going to yield too many tricks for him. But I think he might very well opt for a 3-no trump bid. At the vulnerability, it must be really tempting to just bid game here. And we can see that 3-no trump is ice cold. We would be able to make 4 heart tricks, 5 club tricks, and at least a diamond trick on the expected diamond lead. With partner in the balancing position here, not having doubled initially, we might not expect the greatest hand necessarily, although Nancy should still have a decent hand at the vulnerability to reopen the bidding. So I think Dinia will be considering 3-no trumps. Little bit worried that partner might not have the greatest hand. Okay, so he's decided to go the low route. Now, I do think that this is unfortunately a function of Nancy not taking action at the first best opportunity. Over 1 spade, 1-no trump, Nancy should have doubled, and that would tell partner that she's got true values and not just balancing hand values, and that would definitely have gotten us to a 3-no trump contract at least. So I do suspect that this has gone a little bit wrong, unfortunately, for the Western Cape pair. Okay, so Dinia would be pretty disappointed seeing that dummy, knowing that 10 tricks in no trumps was on top. All right, so waiting to bid or to see what happens is generally not a good approach. It is safer to come into auctions earlier, provided you've got the values and the right type of hand to do so, and that would have definitely gotten the East-West pair to the right spot there. All right, so Alon in the South Sea, just coming back to still on the last hand, Alon chose a with a very modest hand. He bid 1-no trump. I do like getting into the auctions with these type of hands. It makes the opponents feel a little bit more uncomfortable because they are now bidding against 2 bidding opponents. That had a very good effect, and an outcome for North-South, and that's really the bid that made it harder for West to come into the auction. But as discussed, I still believe she should have. Her hand was a pretty minimum takeout double, but being quite shape perfect with a singleton spade, hearts, clubs, and tolerance for the diamonds, I think she should have come in. Okay, guys, thanks for joining us for this first segment of our final round robin match, which is effectively a final as well. I hope you enjoyed our broadcast. It was a lot of fun from my side. Love talking about the game of bridge. Love imparting the little bit of information that I've got. I hope you're going to join us for the next segment. As I said, I think the next match starts probably in about 20 minutes to half an hour, and then there will be a 15-minute delay again with our live YouTube stream. All right, so North's raise of spades was a cubed raise, showing about in the vicinity of about 10, 11 points after partner's 2-club overcall, and with the Lon having overcalled on a pretty minimum type hand. He just bid 3 clubs. All right, so the next segment starting in 30 minutes from now with a 15-minute delayed stream. So we're looking at when this finishes at about 20 past. So our stream should start in the vicinity of 7:30, I would think. Please join us for that. Let's see whether the Western Cape can make a comeback. Okay, so unfortunately for Western Cape, that board 9 did cost them, where the east-west pair in the other room was indeed in a 3 no trump contract, making 10 tricks. Okay, so Western Cape's got a bit of work to do. Okay, so I think the declarer here has got the rest of the tricks. Drawing trumps, cashing the Queen of Diamonds, and crossing to dummy you with the King of Hearts. Okay, so just making 3 clubs. Well judged, well stopped. All right, see you later, folks. Please join us. We'll have a lot more fun.